Hi, I'm Rebecca from Yarn Barn, and today we're going to talk about the Takumi Pro knitting needles. So these are a newer line of needles from Clover. And so if you've experienced some of the older ones, they do still have the same bamboo tips, but there are some different features. So the features include a sharp needle point. It's a smooth surface, much smoother than the original ones that you've probably used. These feel a lot smoother. The cord and joint is connected smoothly with a stainless steel into nylon connection. And the cords swivel, which is really nice for anyone that ends up getting their cables twisted occasionally. And this feature right here, which is really small, is that the cords all have a color on them to color code the length of the needles. So like we have 3 sizes we carry, 16, 24, and 32 inch. And if you just had them in your knitting case, you would see the pink on the 16, light blue on the 24, and darker blue on the 32. So you wouldn't have to pull them out and check how long the cord was, but it's already color coordinated. And this cord is a softer, more flexible cord than the original Clover needles. So they do have a more limited size range. It goes from a US 2.75 millimeter up to a US 15 10 millimeters. So like sock knitters, this isn't for you. If you use anything less than a 2, or if you have 15 covers a lot of things. So the 3 sizes we carry, the 16 inch is going to be most useful for people to do lots of hats and things like that. 24 and 32, we're getting more into like clothing or larger pieces. You can fit extra stitches on these, so don't think, well, my head is bigger than 16 inches, I need the 24. You don't. You can fit like a 23 inch hat stitches on the 16 inch without any problem. So most like sweaters will be done on a 32 inch, even if you have a 38 inch bust or a 40 inch bust. So you could get any of the sizes that you would need for making an entire sweater, and they're easy to find in your knitting bag. So these needles are made from bamboo, and bamboo is a wood plant type material. It's stronger than like wood needles because it's not like a laminate. It has a very close grain. So if you are a tighter grip person, or you put more pressure or sit on your needles, you're less likely to snap them than you would if they're wood. Bamboo is also good for slippery fibers when you're knitting. So like silks, bamboo yarn, any other slippery yarn you're working with is easier to work with on a bamboo needle versus a metal needle for sure. Additionally, if you have hand issues like arthritis or joint pain, they're warm to the touch, unlike metal needles, which for some people is a big factor in why it's more uncomfortable to use. So bamboo is an eco-friendly solution. This stuff grows like grass in America, so they cut it down and use it, and if they don't cut it down, it kind of gets out of control. So it's great for them to get rid of the bamboo to make into needles, and it's great for us because it grows back quickly and we don't have to worry about, you know, killing the trees or anything like that. They are made in Japan and they're distributed from California to us, and so we really like these needles. And if you've tried bamboo needles before and you aren't sure if you still like them, these might be a happier knitting experience than the original ones you have. So one thing I mentioned is that this has sharp needle points. I'm going to show you, this is the Takumi Pro at the bottom, and on the top is the original Clover bamboo knitting needles, and you can see the difference in point sharpness. The length of the working area is the same on both, but this one comes to a much sharper point, which is good if you have more detailed knits or you're doing things like twisted stitches. It also means if you're using some yarns, you're more likely to split the yarn. So keep that in mind when you choose your needles, but they're both good options. And if you are looking for a sharper needle point, then the Takumis are better. Also, if you look at the length of the needle itself, these are both 16-inch needles, and the length of this one is slightly longer because the join has a stainless steel join. And for some people, the short needles are harder to use, and this one's longer, so closer to the size of more hands. So if If short needles are more uncomfortable for you, this is a longer needle for a 16-inch, which is harder to find. Thanks for joining me as we covered the Pro Takumi needles from Clover. They're a premium bamboo and have a swivel cord, and for some people that didn't like the most basic of bamboo needles, this might be a good alternative for you.